Hi and welcome back to another video, or that feels wrong. Welcome back to the start of more videos as it has been, I think I posted a video about a year ago, but before that it has been a good 4 years since I properly was uploading and posting, and I've decided that I'm going to try and start posting again as I did really enjoy it. I'm going to try and split this video up into 3 main sections, which is part 1, which is where have I been, what has happened since I was posting regularly. Part 2, which is a bit of Q&A with some questions which you guys submitted in on my Instagram, which if you're not already following, I will be getting more active on it, so I'll probably put it somewhere over here. And part 3 is where I'm wanting to go in the future with this channel in general, what's the plan there. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, to start with, where have I been for the past pretty much 4 years? And that is a pretty winded question, as 4 years is a long time. I'm now 21, and I was about, was it 17? When I fitted, yeah, 17 when I last was regularly posting, so it's been quite a while. Now, the reason I stopped posting videos wasn't because I had relapsed, wasn't because I was doing awfully or I didn't want anyone to see it. It was a bit of a mix of a few things. To start, I had become quite self-conscious about my body, the way I looked. I'd gained quite a lot of weight. I really did recover on this channel. I went from being extremely underweight and not very well to being a healthy weight, and I knew part of my all-in journey was that I would have to overshoot the weight that I naturally was meant to be at. Now, as a dietitian, or nearly a dietitian, I understand the science behind this, but at the time it was super scary and I didn't want to do it, but I did do it. However, I wasn't comfortable doing it on camera. So I'd got to the point where I was pretty happy with my weight, but I didn't want to gain any more weight, and I knew I still had to do that, and it was much easier to do it without thousands of people looking at me or looking at my body and that kind of thing. After kind of quitting YouTube, I reached my highest weight and I did not feel good. I was very bloated, I had quite a lot of water retention, quite puffy, and it just wasn't a really very happy place for me to be. However, the weight did, don't want to trigger anyone here, but it was, the puffiness and the bloatedness did come down, and I kind of reached my set point, which with time I definitely felt more comfortable with and more confident. So after that, after reaching kind of my highest weight and then it kind of coming down a bit to something more natural for my body, I went to college, and that was it helpful for my recovery? I think it was helpful. It helped me get back into normal life. I did a lot of comparison. I was always comparing myself to other people, and it wasn't really helpful in that aspect, but it really did help me get back into normal life. Next, I went to university and I went to study to become a dietitian. So I'm currently in my final year. I've just handed in my last assignment, or kind of handed in my last assignment. I've got a presentation due. So I'm pretty much nearly a qualified dietitian, which is quite ironic, and I will do a video on this if you want to, about life as a dietitian, what I've learned from this. As throughout my time in uni, I've actually worked with people who have eating disorders. Not me personally, but I've supervised dietitians who were working with them, and it's given me quite, I'd say, a nuanced perspective on eating disorders in general and how differently they manifest and how important it is not to compare to other people. Studying nutrition, while it hasn't hindered my recovery or prevented me from recovering, it certainly was a challenge to be talking about food all the time and calories and numbers, and while it didn't negatively impact me, I don't think it was the best choice going forward, and I probably wouldn't recommend that anyone else do the same as me. Then after uni, I was struggling with a bit of kind of exercise addiction. Or not after uni, during uni. I was kind of compulsively exercising, going to the gym too much, started running, and I was really quite stuck in quite a vicious cycle. I have noticed with myself and other people who have that kind of tendency for an eating disorder, it's very easy to get into cycles and very dependent on the cycle. So I would be getting to a routine of, oh, I'm doing this many minutes of this many minutes of this many times a day, this many times a week. It kind of just led to quite a nasty situation. While I wasn't actively really restricting my intake, it just wasn't healthy for me. So luckily the thing that actually really helped me here was I went travelling for 2 months with my boyfriend, and it was probably the best thing that I could have done at this time. It really taught me food freedom and kind of freedom of exercise, because I wasn't able to exercise every single day. I wasn't able to go on a run. I wasn't able to go to the gym. It was more of it was more kind of like you had to live every day as it comes, because you're in a new place, a new city, a new food, and you just had to experience it as you went along, and that really helped me become more comfortable with my body, kind of realise that my body isn't all about what it looks like, it's also what it can do. Oh wow, we can like climb this mountain, oh wow, we can do this. And if I wasn't eating enough to do that, I was miserable, fully miserable. So it really taught me that relationship of if I treat my body better, it will treat me better, I'll be happier, I'll enjoy it more. So I would say that travelling experience really helped, and I came back to the UK much happier, much more settled in my body and myself and with my relationship with food. I then actually did the London Marathon, which sounds a bit like, what? Why would you do that? But I generally was in a good place then, and while training for the marathon, I actually learned to properly fuel my body. As soon as there was any inclination that I was starting to restrict or using it for like a negative purpose, my body would remind me and I would get injured. I would hurt myself, like twist my ankle or just be really sore. So it was a really good reminder that what you put in is what you get out. So I was having to properly fuel myself. I was eating more than I even did in recovery, just to be able to kind of replenish myself and get stronger and get fitter. And I think I ended up gaining weight during that experience, and I was very strong and I was feeling much better, and I managed to do the marathon, which I was really proud of myself. Yes, so what happened after that? I did struggle a bit after the marathon. Surprisingly, after I stopped exercising, that's when I was struggling with my eating, as I wasn't doing as much exercise. I wasn't really feeling very hungry because I wasn't used to not doing the exercise, I guess. And I would say that I was struggling quite a bit then, just in general. Now, what helped me get out of that spell? I think just having family and friends around really helped then, just get me more focused and focused on the future and what I want in the future. So I did ask for a Q&A of you guys to see if you had any questions, and a lot of you did say, have you recovered? Have you relapsed? And I wouldn't say I've relapsed since starting the since my last YouTube video. I don't think I've relapsed, but I also don't think recovery is fully linear, and that how would I word this? Recovery isn't always making the right decision. It's more about being able to bounce back from all the setbacks. So it's not about not making any mistakes and not struggling and finding everything easy and always be moving forward. It's about, okay, I've taken a few step backs here, I recognise that, and now I'm going to do something about it and move forward. So yes, I've had setbacks, I have struggled for a few weeks, I've had blips, but I've come back every time, and I would say now that I'm recovered. So yes, I find myself comparing myself to other people at times. Yes, I'll compare what I'm eating or feel self-conscious, but that's okay, and I don't let it drag me down like it would in the past. And I also do struggle, I have to be aware of it in times where there's quite upsetting times. Recently we lost our family dog. He which we'd had him for over 14 years. And that was really upsetting, and my body's reaction to that was, I'm not hungry, I don't want to eat. But I had to be aware of that, acknowledge that, and whereas in the past I might have jumped on that and used that as an excuse not to eat, I now don't do that, because I wouldn't let his memory be a reason why I fall down, because he wouldn't want that and I don't want that. So it's all about just being consciously aware, and that's just what I think being recovered is you're comfortable in yourself, you're comfortable in your body, and you're aware of what could set you back, and you just don't let it. You're aware of it, you acknowledge the thoughts, and you just don't listen to them. They're not really there, to the point where I rarely get negative thoughts. I feel quite confident in myself moving forward. So yeah, that is part 1, which is the past, and let's move on to part 2, which is just a few questions that you guys submitted in. I think I've answered a few of them in a few of the questions. I've just got my phone here in the part 1, but we'll see what questions we have. Let's have a look. Okay, here's one. What has been the biggest learning for you in the past years? I would probably say that what has been my biggest learning? That everyone's very different, and that I don't need to compare myself to other people, and I also don't need to give everything, be 100% in everything. I find with my personality that I can't just enjoy being in the moment, because I'm always thinking about kind of the long-term goal. Where is this going to get me? What's the point of doing this if I don't get X, Y, or Z? And I've learned the importance of kind of living in the moment, doing stuff because you enjoy doing it rather than to get kind of the end goal there. I found this particularly with the marathon, that the whole time I was just looking forward to the end, the actual marathon, to be able to do it, to say I've done it. And at the end, it just was very anticlimactic. It wasn't this big revelation. It wasn't this rush of adrenaline. It was just a bit like, oh, I actually enjoyed the runs, the journey, the sunny weather, kind of the training leading up to it more than the actual day. And it really just showed me that I need to start focusing on the present, enjoying where I am, enjoying what I'm doing things because I enjoy it, rather than just focusing on the end goal, because then you're always waiting to be happy, and that's not a very fun place to be, because you're never going to get there. That's still something I'm working on, is trying to be more in the moment and enjoy things in the moment, because I'm really not very good at it. Next question is, are you in uni? What you're studying? Do you enjoy it? And your dream job? So yes, I'm kind of in uni, but not for long. I finished this year, or in a month or so, studying dietetics, or to be a dietitian, ironically. Do I enjoy it? I found it interesting, but I wouldn't say it is my long-term goal or passion, or I'm particularly passionate about it. I enjoy helping people, but I do have kind of plans in the works to go back to uni in September, but I will let you know more, which is very exciting, and I'll let you know more about that as things progress. But yeah, that's like really exciting, that part of my life, and I can't wait to share with everyone about it. Next, it is relationships. Yes, I'm in a relationship. I've been with my partner now for 2 years, and we currently live together. We are looking after this little puppy over here, Dumpling, who's fast asleep. But yes, that's all good, and I'm happy. Next question is, how has your relationship with your sister changed? So if you guys don't know, my sister also has, or she has, anorexia. How has our relationship changed? I'd say, unfortunately, we are probably a bit, or kind of further apart than we used to be. She's currently in a unit for anorexia, and I feel like I don't get to see her very often, and we don't talk very much, and I would like that to change. But yeah, I miss her, and I wish I was able to see her more, but it's just not really a possibility at the moment as I live quite far away. But yeah, so we've kind of got a bit further away, but I'll always be there for her, and hopefully we'll be able to get a bit closer in the future. Do you still face any disordered thoughts? I wouldn't say so on a daily basis. I don't really get the urge to particularly restrict or lose weight or anything like that. I do get urges to kind of like start exercising too much, which I don't do. I just do Pilates, which has really helped me with my body actually, and kind of feeling more grounded. I do that a few times a week, just 30 minutes at home on the living room floor. And I really enjoy that. That just really helps me feel quite grounded. But other than that, I don't really do much exercise in general. I do want to get into doing more exercise for me, just what I enjoy, maybe doing rock climbing, horse riding, the things I used to love before it got obsessive. But that is a journey I'm on, to kind of figure out what I enjoy now I'm an adult and no longer a child. But yes, I still do get negative thoughts here and there, rarely, not weekly, but I'm very good at acknowledging them and nothing ever comes from them. What's next? What made you recover? That's quite a hard one. I would probably say fear. The fear that I would have regrets, the fear I'd miss out, the fear I wouldn't be able to achieve what I wanted to in life, the fear of being stuck really made me want to move forward, because anything was better than being stuck there. My mental health was awful. I physically wasn't happy with my body. I was anxious, I was stressed, I had no friends, I was pushing family away, I was moody. So anything was better than that. So if I was moving, and as I moved forward, even though it was extremely, extremely hard, I felt better every day. I felt like if I really thought about it, at least I wasn't there. So that really helped. What else have we got? What are your current favourite foods? I love oats, chocolate oats. That is a standard. I love fudge. I quite like a banana. I like dark chocolate. Chocolate covered strawberries. Oh wow, that is I would probably say that's one of my favourites. But that's way too expensive. So we'll move on from that. Are you fully recovered? I would say so, yes. Do you already know what focus you'd like to take your channel in the future? And that will lead us nicely on to part 3, which is where do I want to go going forward? But I'm getting quite warm, so I'm going to take my jumper off. Okay, so where do I see this channel going in the future? I would probably say I still love food. I'm still a foodie. I still want to do food related videos. I would like to be able to offer kind of support and advice with people's questions, kind of do some more educational kind of style videos with my degree in dietetics, but also with my exciting new uni coming up, I want to kind of go, it is health related, so I want to go kind of with the health aspect and just kind of general health, be living balanced, not being scared of having a McDonald's or a pizza or sushi, which I love, but also just living a balanced life without the over exercising, just kind of documenting my life, not just for you guys but for me to look back on, as I do really like sometimes looking back on my old videos. But yeah, I'm really open to hear any of your suggestions on the videos you'd like to see, any advice, anything like that would be really great. But yeah, where I'm going is just more about the day-to-day life, kind of busting some nutrition myths, health, fitness, balanced life. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm wanting to go, but if you have any suggestions, let me know. But yeah, hopefully I've answered all your questions. If you have any more, pop them down below. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you want to keep up to date. If not, that's fine. But yeah, Please like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will see you in another video. I will really try and post another video, but bye.